A pretty teenage cyborg gets a human boyfriend and plays a game called rollerball. Why wouldn't it be Oscar gold? I'm Robert, and this is Robert's Real Feel. Alita Battle Angel is a 2019 film directed by Robert Rodriguez and with a screenplay by him, James Cameron, and Laeta Kalogridis. I hope I said that right. It is based upon the first 4 books of the Manga series and stars a CGI performance by Rosa Salazar as Alita, along with Christoph Waltz and some others. This was a highly anticipated film by manga fans and sci-fi fans in general, I believe. I was certainly looking forward to it. I thought the visuals in the trailers were fantastic. And I have to say, the advertising campaign for it has been tremendous. Not long ago, I was watching a rerun of Guardians of the Galaxy on Sci-Fi channel, I believe, or FX. It was FX. And you had the whole viewing of Guardians of the Galaxy sponsored by Alita Battle Angel, and they were giving behind-the-scenes views in between during the commercial breaks. So they put a great deal of effort into trying to make this film a huge success. Does anybody hear warning bells? So I should begin this with a caveat. Having never been exposed to the manga, I'm judging this film based solely on its merit as a freestanding film. So with that, let's get into it. Alita is a cyborg with a human brain that is found by Dr. Iso, played by Christoph Waltz. Dr. Iso specializes in cybernetic appendages and such, and like that, presto, he rebuilds her and Alita's there again, living, breathing, a thing, a chick. Even though she's a relic of a time gone by 300 years before, and somehow he was able to rebuild her even though the technology that was used to build her has been lost since. But okay. The world that this film displays is really beautifully created, and the computer CG work is as good as we have seen. Some of the wide shots are truly beautiful, and from a perspective of drawing the viewer into the world, they've done everything right. Christoph Waltz does what he does, and his performance is as one would expect, though not particularly adding any new dimensions to the characters we've seen him play in other films. As I've seen mentioned in other places out in internet world, other parts in the film that were given to talented actors could pretty much have been played by anyone because of their lack of dimension. The action, though, is where this film really kind of comes into its own a little bit. They're really well choreographed and they're super fun to watch. Beyond that, I feel the story and the narrative of this film is where Alita's cheese really starts to slide off of her cracker. Okay, so here we go with the problems I have with this film. First, I have seen other people who I greatly respect comment that the relationship is not something that they really buy into, and no one really says why, but I'll go ahead and try to state it, in my opinion. In a nutshell, sexuality is an important part of attraction in a relationship. And it's really kind of hard to buy the idea that any human's favorite food is an apple made of wax and paper mache. That is to say, a friendship bond is something quite a bit more believable, but a romance is a bit of a stretch, in my opinion. Then we come into other massive gaps in the story, like how did he rebuild her if the technology with which she was built was lost 300 years ago? And if he knew so much about who and what she was, how did he actually think he was going to keep a secret from her? And then there's the whole thing about the hoity-toity place in the sky that they talk about, but you never really get to see any of. It all just seems too fragmented, like they took an entire series and tried to jam-pack it into a single feature-length film instead of trying to focus up the story, which I suppose is what they did. Again, having not seen the manga, maybe it was all like this, but I'm pretty sure that there was a bit more of a flow to the story and a little more detail thrown in. So with all that, let's go ahead and get to the scores. The story is just too weak and there are too many underdeveloped ideas. I give it a 5. For overall integrity, it doesn't do much better. I give it a 6. It's just too fragmented. So we get to innovation and uniqueness. Here, it does a lot better. It's cool, it's a very unusual environment, and they did a great job at portraying it, but it's nothing groundbreaking. It's nothing, not the sort of thing that we haven't seen before. So it's going to get an 8. As for casting, Rosa Salazar did a great job as the CGI actor for Alita. Christoph Waltz played himself. The other actors were underutilized, so it's going to get a 6 overall. We finally come to a category where this film really shines, visual impact. It gets a solid 10. They've rendered this film in such a beautiful way. If for no other reason, it's worth watching for the visuals. And that brings us to emotional effectiveness. I have to tell you, I wasn't really invested in any of the characters in this film. I would say it barely pulls off a 6. And as for lasting effects, rewatchability, endurance, I'd say this is a great way to kill some dead time in your life. Look at some really beautiful visuals and some great CG, but I can't ever see myself watching this again. It's going to come in at a 5. So when I throw all this into my score generator, Alita comes back with a 6.6. Not the best film in the world. Like I said, it's worth watching probably once for the visuals, but I expected a lot more from this film. So that's it for my review of Alita Battle Angel. What did you think? Have you seen the film? Do you agree or disagree with my opinions? Please comment below in the comment section. Let me know about it. And if you like this and you'd like to see more like it, please do subscribe to my channel, click like on the video, and don't forget to ring the little bell. That will make sure you don't miss any new content from Robert's Real Feel. Thanks again for watching.